see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is, I didn't fill out my notes. What is it? Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. And this is episode 647 of the Lots Project podcast. And it's titled A Few Minutes for Bitcoin. I'll be chatting about a new Bitcoin resource I stumbled upon that seems pretty good. Haven't dug in too much, but it might be something that you want to use or spread around. Maybe in my notes today, because I set them up last night, maybe an all-time high this morning. Spoiler alert, didn't really happen. And some more observations from watching alone and whatever else we get into. Before that, let's check in with the coffee crew in the live chat, see who's hanging out, grab a cup of coffee, and we will hang out for an hour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? And let me see if I'm over here now again. Hey, Jim, thanks for commenting over on Nostr. Still getting this figured out, guys. I definitely, if I'm going to go pretty consistently on Nostr, which I think is going to end up happening, I'm going to need a second screen. I'm going to need to be able to have this all up here because very, very distracting going over and back and forth. So yeah, we'll see. Contemplating Nostr for standalone show. Better than TikTok. Let's check out who's in the comments this morning, and we'll get rolling. Good morning, Pip in early. He said he has a few decades for Bitcoin, and I'm all ears, man. I wish I had had a decade for Bitcoin a decade ago. Good morning, Gen G. Thanks for stopping in again. Pip says 67,000 for Bitcoin is a good morning, man. Yesterday was fun to watch. Jim, good morning. Rewilder Life, warming up some chili and brewing coffee for the show. Chili and coffee. I knew a guy that put coffee beans in the chili. And Jim, like the old geezer he is expecting Rachel to share for everybody. There's that socialist mentality. Rachel, did you make enough chili for everybody? Back in my day. Morning, Pickle Pete. Rewilder says, sure, come on over. She's got plenty. It has kidney, hearts, livers, and ground venison. Whew. That sounds fantastic. Quick note about Alone, when we've been watching this season that we're watching, they're in Mongolia for the first time, and they are killing birds. They're like shooting birds and catching birds, and every time they pull a heart out, I'm like, oh man, that heart looks so good. Hunter says, good morning over on Twitch and Nostr, not censored. Yeah, that's the goal. That is the goal. Jim says he's socialist and old. Oh, the heart is the best. That was definitely my favorite part of the quail. If any animal, I guess I have to say, any animal. Is my shit going over here still? Sorry. My favorite part of the quail was definitely. Why does it say I'm offline over there? Did my shit drop? Jim, hey, if you're listening in the YouTube comments, did my stream drop off of Nostr? I'm not going to fix it now anyway. It is what it is. But if it is over there, I want to be able to see the chat. Yeah, it looks like I dropped offline. Interesting. Anyway, it was a good day. Pickle Pete says, cut 40 trees down for containers, new stage area. Cut 40 trees down for a container in a new stage area yesterday. Morning Backwoods Butcher. Pickle Pete says 5x5 on YouTube, and Jim says I'm still there. Sweet. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see the comments over on Nostr, guys. At the moment, they're not loading. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Anyway, let's get into it a little bit. Let me see what I got on the notes today. First things first, I want to let you guys know most of the people in the chat, I think, have a basic understanding of Bitcoin. Enough. How it generally works, what it generally is, how to buy it, sell it, and hold it, and whatever you want. I was on Nostr yesterday, and I ran across a note on Nostr that Anil, I believe is how he would say, Anil is his screen name. Been around Bitcoin for a long, long time. I ended up going down a little rabbit trail after I saw the post he had, but he a long time ago put together a Bitcoin course, a non-technical Bitcoin beginner course. Genji says, I don't know much at all about Bitcoin. Actually, yeah, but you're new. What is it, like less than a week? You'll get there. This is probably perfect for you. So Pip, that is a fantastic point. I will have to bring that back up. But anyway, I was scrolling through Nostr. Someone had boosted Anil's post a long time ago. He started doing crypto beginner consulting. He had a course that he put together of all his recorded stuff, all his bits and pieces of different trainings that he had, and he had it all together at one point, and he was selling the course to take the whole course for $99. I mean, which is a perfectly fair price. It looks like it's a self-guided course where you get non-technical instruction on Bitcoin, basics, probably learning. Like I said, I haven't dove in yet. I did sign up because dude gave it away for free now. It is free now. $99 value. He's just decided to give it away. And I was like, oh, it's some sort of scam. So before I brought it to you guys, I clicked on the link. I went and signed up. You just put an email address in and bam, you have access to his course. It says you can do the course in 2 hours, but like I said, it's self-guided. You can walk through it. It says it's non-technical. Here, let me bring this up here. Bring this up on the screen. I saved it, but didn't get it. I was chatting with Rachel before the show, and you can all blame her that all my prep is not done. But here up on the screen, it's called the Bitcoin course. It's you can complete it. It's exploring networks and money. You can complete the course in 2 hours. It's non-technical, ideal for all levels, beginner to expert. He's the author of the Bitcoin Handbook. He's got an MBA. He's worked at Swan, Unchained, Bitcoin Magazine. He's been a big investor in Bitcoin and been around for quite a while. So I have the link in the video description, in the audio notes, if you want to check that out. I suggest it. I will be taking the course. I will be going through it and seeing what I think before I throw it out and really, really promote it. But I thought I wanted to give you guys a heads up that I found it. If you're interested, I did go through the motions of getting signed up. Let me see if it's still open in my browser tab on my phone, because that's where I was looking at it. Because it had the where did it go? It had the curriculum here, and it's gone. It must have got closed. Sorry, guys. riveting audio, but I wanted to let you guys know. But it basically it talks to you about money, what money is, what Bitcoin is, why Bitcoin, and explains a lot of the things from what I can tell in the notes and what things were said about it in the post. So I'm kind of excited to go through it. I'm excited to learn more, even if I don't learn anything. I'm excited to go through and verify that a resource like that is available for people, and I'll pump it out everywhere. I do beginner cryptocurrency consulting. I can get you through the basics and talk you through figuring out how to get to pretty much a beginner to intermediate level. I can get you from fiat dollars into a hardware wallet or anywhere in between. But I'm always willing to learn, and I'm always willing to put free resources out there too. So excited. It looked like a lot of people are using his course for Bitcoin meetups in their local area. Not necessarily a bunch of Bitcoiners getting together, but hey, have you ever thought about Bitcoin at all? Have you ever looked into it? Hey, come and hang out at the library for, a half an hour and let's talk about it. And using his videos and slides from this presentation as part of that. So people seem to be really excited about it. So I have to think it's quality. So check that out. Like I said, link is in the video description and the audio notes too. Rachel says she just went and signed up. It is free. Yeah, it is. It's as easy as an email address. And if you're worried about him getting your email address, make a free Gmail. I mean, really, I see people freaking out about, well, I have to give him my email. I've forgot more emails that I have than I use, that I remember. Like, honestly, I can remember the first email address that I made where I got to pick my username. And I believe, honestly, in my heart, since then till now, I've forgot about more email addresses than I remember. So it's easy if you're really worried about it, or if you're just using it as an excuse not to do something. Hunter says, just thinking about that, I need one for each dog for like records and stuff. Yeah, and then there is also a little there is a trick, and I need to look it up so I can bring it to you guys, the actual way to do it. But there is a way to segment a Gmail address. So you can make it so they all come to one inbox, but they're segregated. The email addresses are different, but they all go to the same place. So it's like Hunter could do for his dogs. He could do dog/dog A, dog/dog B. And then when you go sign them up for something, or you need email records emailed to someone, you give them dog/dog A, and when it gets emailed to that, it gets segregated, but it goes to the same main email address, dogs@gmail.com. I doubt you'll get that. I have to look into it. Sean from our group has mentioned it in other groups I've been in, and I know of the feature, and I've never really used it. I always just make a whole new email address. I just go to Gmail and make a new one. Testing things, making videos, signing up for scams, signing up for all sorts of shit. I would just go blast out another email. Pickle P says you forward to one. Yeah, well, there is that, but Gmail has a segmenting feature too, where it is a string in the email address that is similar with a distinguishing factor, whatever that is. So Pip had an interesting thought back here, and this is coming soon. How does one tip a stripper with sats? Does she have a QC code tattoo? Sure, why not? You could have a lightning address tattoo on you. I mean, like, really, if it wasn't if this wasn't the tip of the iceberg, if this wasn't the beginning of Bitcoin, like seriously, I saw a really cool graphic yesterday that was all the different cell phones, stacked up. Like it started with the old brick phone from the car and went through all the iterations of cell phones, and it had Bitcoin next to it and just a big B, and then it had an arrow pointing at like your 1996 Nokia Star Gear or whatever it was called, the thing, the Motorola Starlink or whatever it was, the clamshell one, the first one that everybody wore on their fucking hip because it was really cool. That's where we're at. This is where we're going. Think about it. We're dialing up to Prodigy internet. We're dialing up, guys. Now we got 1 gig or 1 terabyte internet. Jesus, I don't even know how fast this shit is anymore. We dipped out a long time ago on the progression of internet because we moved someplace that basically had dial-up when we left in 2022. So we weren't really up to speed on what was available in the cities, but it's got to be getting up to over a gig because it was a gig back when I actually saw the commercials. So yeah, guys, we are early. We are early in the game. Don't fret. You know more. Here you go. You know more by listening to the first 17 minutes of this podcast than most people know. That you know more than most people know about Bitcoin. Already. So Pickle P says value for value in all things. He tipped a fangirl at a rave with Venmo. Venmo is great. Electronic payment is great. I miss cash a lot. I think I really do. Cash was cool. I did a whole lot of my life in cash only, especially being a bartender. I learned to function. I learned to function in the cash world. I learned to manage my assets, I guess we would say, when it is a value for value exchange, when it is fence post cash. Rewilder Life just bought a truck cash last night. Beautiful. And I bet that person that bought it cash sold that baby for $598.99. My favorite thing with cash, back in Minnesota, Corey and I bought we bought a couple boats actually, but we bought one boat in particular that it was like $800, I think is what we spent. Not much, under $1,000. We bought it cash, which means there's no bill of sale. Actually, the most common thing in Minnesota, I guess, and probably other places, is when you buy something cash, they hand you the bill of sale blank for the price. Well, just be honest with the state. And me being me, I just put down. I figured, really, what could the tax be? What could the tax be on like $700? Really, $800, whatever it was. It wasn't much. And so I put it down there. Like whatever. And I go to register it and get the little sticker to put on the boat. And I go in, and I was out in a rural vehicle registration. The little I think it was DMV I had to go to for the boat registration, even though it went through the DNR. It was just this messed up, convoluted thing. But I go in, I have all the paperwork, I have it all filled out, and so I hand her the thing, and I put like $700, and she slides it back across, and she goes, there's no tax if it's under 600. I'm pretty sure that costs $599. And I'm like, what? So the lady, she was a good one. I dealt with her many times through driver's license renewals and vehicle renewal registrations and things like that. She was always there. She was a good one. She was a good one for sure, but definitely on the side of the citizen at that point. Jen G says, I've used cash only for decades, buy everything in cash outright. I hate debt, don't trust banks or anyone with my money. Yeah, we're over the whole bank thing. We're over the whole bank thing. We're over the whole loan thing. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. We're still tidying up some stuff from our previous lives, but at this point, I if I need to borrow something from someone, it will be someone. It won't be a bank. It won't be someone. It will be someone that it will be someone I know. It'll be someone I know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's get back to it. That was a little sidewindy there. So Anil over at Nostr put that Bitcoin course.io. If you didn't see the link, or you're curious what it is, or you're just listening and you want to check it out later, Bitcoin course, bitcoincourse.io. Bitcoincourse.io will get you to that free course. And man, the Nostr vibe is definitely drawing me over there. The more time I spend there, the more time I take to find more people to follow there. The more content I'm seeing, the more variety of content I'm seeing. It's fantastic. I'm learning more. I'm it's just a different social media experience, I guess, from what we've been. So, you know what I've been trying to think what it is like. And I really feel like it might be Facebook when I first started. Like, as much as Facebook is just a hellhole at this point, I try to remember back when I joined Facebook. And this was before I met Corey. I know for sure. Corey, how long have we been together? 2008. So probably 2006, 2007-ish. Somewhere around there. Before it had ads, before it had motivations, before it had, I'm sure they were gathering data. I'm not blind to the fact that they were doing that, especially if it was free. You know, if it's free, you're the product. But the people there hadn't turned into just a bunch of fucking monsters. People weren't tearing each other down like they do on the interwebs now. They weren't it wasn't the cesspool of what Facebook is. That is kind of the vibe I get off of Nostr. Now, the big difference going forward, the big difference going forward is you control your feed on Nostr. You control what you see. You follow what you want, and nothing gets shoved in front of your face. I know this is a big complaint on Facebook. I complain about it, and I hear people complaining about it all the time, and I see all these people doing this retarded, I reset my Facebook feed by posting this message, blah, 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 blah. Now I see all my friends again. No, you don't. No, you don't. They show you what they want to show you. And when you scroll through and 80+% of the things that pop up in front of your face are suggested, when you follow 100 things and 90 of them are things you don't follow and you see one, that is not showing you what you want to see. That's showing you what they want you to see. See the difference there? You didn't choose that. On Nostr, you know what? If I go follow someone, if I follow their NPub, then I see their posts. I see their notes. I see them when they post them, not 3 days later, not 4 weeks later, not when Nostr feels like it wants to show them to me. When Pip goes over there and posts, "Hey, I'm Pip. Nice to meet you," at noon on a Tuesday, and I sign on at 12:45 on Tuesday, and I scroll down and I get to the timestamp as noon. There's a post there that says, "Pip says, hey, I'm Pip. Nice to see you," or whatever I said. I can't even remember that long. But it doesn't change. And if you don't like something, you just stop watching. You just stop following them. If you disagree with someone, you just stop following them or you scroll by and ignore it. There's so many different genres of people there. And you get to choose what you want to participate with. And you get to choose what you don't want to participate with. Okay, Pip posts a pic of a rubber duck. And here was the other one that was good on Facebook for a while there was, I don't allow Facebook to use my data or my photos. What the hell? What was that? As of midnight on Thursday, March 21st, I do not allow Facebook to ever use my photos again, even though I signed a user agreement that everything I upload to this site is the property of Facebook. Fucking dolt. Jesus. Really? Do you really think that, did someone actually post that and go, whew, man, Zuckerberg won't be able to use my photos for anything he wants? And then the other thing is, what the hell does Zuckerberg want with the photos of your dog's butthole anyway? God. The world's gone insane, guys. Like, just step back for a second. Step back. And I'm not saying that I'm immune from this shit. Like, I do stupid shit all the time. I would never I've learned over my 40 plus years that I am definitely not immune to definitely not immune to doing shit that is stupid. Pip says the same users posted the same users that posted their kid with a slice of meat on his face is worried about fucking Zuckerberg taking their pictures. Dude, they don't need your pictures. They already have your brain. Jim says, you haven't been hacked. You've been cloned. There's a difference. I've been hacked. I've been hacked. I want to rewild their life right on cue. I'd like to be cloned. I need some help. I've been hacked. Oh, my sister sent me something the other day on Facebook. It was a screenshot of a message from me to her, and she's like, "Did you send this?" And I'm like, "Don't think so." I didn't even know. I couldn't imagine that I sent just a blind link like that. So I think I got hacked, guys. I think I got hacked. Yeah, Facebook is what it is. Twitter is a dumpster fire. Twitter is a dumpster fire. Chris Dixon, I saw in the comments there, said that that he's on a 7-day vacation from X. What'd you do, Chris? What did you do? What did you do? Dixon says leveraging debt and holding it are very different. Using other people's money is an art not mastered by most. Yes, and that is like playing with a snake. If you know what you're doing and you're good at it, you're likely not going to get bit. You still could. You still could at any point. Nature is going to jump up and teach you who's in charge. But man, it's not a game. It's not a game for the weak of heart or the uneducated or uninformed. Let's put it that way. And I'll put myself in the got sucked into the debt hole. Yeah, man, for sure. For sure. While their life, and yet I come for here for laughs and coffee 5 days a week. Well, there is something to be said for laughter and serotonin. Is it serotonin in your brain? I think it's serotonin. And Jim says, if you think elder abuse is funny, man, pity party for Jim. Let's have a pity party for Jim. On 3, everybody that's listening to this on 3, just say, oh, poor Jim. Dopamine, that's what it is. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, poor Jim. You're welcome, Jim. You're welcome. Jen in with the I just wanted everybody to say it. You guys are just throwing it in the comments too. Hunter's wondering what's going on over on Twitch. Jim's been complaining about elder abuse in the comments, and Hunter can't see him over on Twitch. He's like, what's going on with Jim? What's going on with Jim? Oh, God. This is great. Oh, anyway, guys, did you watch Bitcoin price yesterday? Bitcoin had a nice big old jump yesterday. Needling at the all-time high. Bitcoin. Interesting. Now, stop for a second and wrap your Canadian Farm says he checked out Zap stream but couldn't see all the comments. Yeah, these comments don't feed over there. It's only YouTube. At the moment. I'm trying to figure out the whole Zap stream thing and rolling in the comments over there. Jim says I called him a socialist, and those are fighting words. What else would you call someone that when someone is talking about their breakfast, they're like, hey, I'm heating up some chili and some coffee for the show. And Jim's like, did you bring it up for everyone? That's the socialist bullshit that they try to teach you in school. Right there. Did you bring it up for the whole class? What do you think, Jim? What's your rebuttal on that? What's the rebuttal on that? If that's not socialist, what is it? Communist? Certainly is America. Anyway. He was just joking. Sorry, Jim. I was just joking about you being a socialist too, so I love you. I love you, Jim. I really do. I appreciate you being here every day. It's just an easy outlet for my aggression. Hunter says, and then they get mad when you do bring enough for the class because you were supposed to starve, Hunter. In this model, we're supposed to starve. Pip says, and what if I'm allergic to chili? What would I have? Wilder Life says, not going to add chili powder. Dixon says he's gluten-free. What everybody bring him? Canadian Farmstead says last time he picked on someone his own size, Kyle got banned from TikTok. The Giants. Oh my God. Oh, sorry guys. I come here for the laughs just as much as you. Anyway, yesterday Bitcoin price was popping towards all-time high, and as I started looking into it, it was really interesting to read down the articles about how Bitcoin. So it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since the all-time high. Like 3 years. 3 years, I think. 2021, 2.5 years. So it was interesting to read the articles and see that with this last run up, depending on what currency you look in, because we know Bitcoin is Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. 1 US dollar equals 1 US dollar. 1 British pound equals 1 British pound, and down the line. And so it's different when you compare Bitcoin to a price. A lot of people will say in US dollars. Of course, we're in the United States or Canada. I don't know if anybody, hey, Chris Dixon and Canadian Farm said, does anybody price Bitcoin in Canadian dollars? Or in Canada, do you price it in US dollars? I wish Philippine Nomad was here. I wish Philippine Nomad was here so he could tell me in the Philippines. But obviously in the US, we denominate the value of something in US dollars, whether it be gold or silver or platinum or Shake Pay denominates it in US dollars or Canadian dollars. But anyway, when we talk about things in the country you are, Hunter says, I see Bitcoin in euros. Of course you do. Of course you do. do Canadians dream in English? Jesus Christ. Pickle Pete denominates his Bitcoin in pounds of weed. A long time ago, Chris Dixon's, yeah, I thought I asked an or question, not, yeah, okay, well, whatever. A long time ago, Pickle Pete and I did an experiment at the beginning of this show, really within the first 100 episodes, I know, where we were comparing the 1 Bitcoin to a pound of weed, a pound of ground beef, or a new F-150. I think were the things we had on that list, and we were plotting it against that. And I think if it hadn't been just such a foreign concept, it would be an interesting experiment to see it right now. Because this kind of ties into what I was seeing yesterday, was when I was looking at the all-time high, all the articles were like, Bitcoin's already hit an all-time high, depending on where you are. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, what the fuck? Basically, our currency has inflated so much in the last 2.5 years, that Bitcoin has already hit an all-time high in other countries, in other currencies. So if our currencies had all stayed level over the 2.5 years and Bitcoin went up and down, we would go up and down together. But since our value keeps going down, the US dollar, I think I have that right in my head. It might be backwards. I'm not sure. But Hunter says priced in Bitcoin is a website. Nice. So Chris Dixon just looked at ShakePay, which is basically like, is this like Fold for Canadians? I think is from what I understand. We don't have it here, but he says it can be either denominated in USD, Canadian dollars, or euros. but I brought the euros. Pickle P says, here it is, 40% more dollars in the economy. It took 24 to 30 months to express itself in the real economy. Okay. So our dollars are worth less. So it's some weird convoluted math in your head, but basically the US dollar sucks. And we've already hit all-time highs in value for other currencies. But all-time high is on the brink as far as US dollars, and that's where we're sitting. So that level from where you good morning, John Palmer. Thanks for stopping in. From what you read, and I couldn't really dig in and find why these numbers were different. You would think that at any point we know what the highest price it was. I don't know if they're adjusting for inflation. I don't know why, but I found several different all-time high numbers. The one I rolled with is the one I found the most is $69,044. Yesterday we breached getting right up to the 69,000 mark and didn't cross it. It looked as though this morning we kind of dropped back down overnight. Yeah, we're sitting 67,000 and some change. That's okay. It was up $4,000 yesterday. It's coming, guys. It is coming. And when this actually, this isn't moving yet. Pickle Pete asked me something about 75K by the 15th and 75K by the 15th and 100,000 by the halving. And I was like, yeah, no sweat, man. The more I'm looking into this, and Nostr is fantastic for leading you down information rabbit holes too. Solid, not fluff and spam, like legitimate solid articles about Bitcoin, about why it works and what's going on. It's really cool. I love the Bitcoin part of Nostr, the section of people there. So $69,044 is coming up. That'll be an all-time high. I saw an interesting price point that someone was looking for yesterday, and Haas has a question here before I get to this price point. It says, how often do you invest in Bitcoin? I've been buying once a week. Whenever you can, really. Chris Dixon says, love seeing the 92K Canadian. It is what it is. And then, like, don't ever invest something you can't afford. Like, don't take your grocery money and put it in Bitcoin. But if you can afford $5 a week, if you can afford $1 a day, if you can afford $100 a week or $500 a month or half your paycheck or whatever, that's all up to you. Dollar cost averaging is probably the best, most secure way to do it. And I don't want to say secure isn't the right word. the safest way to do it as far as price fluctuation. Once a day, once a week, once a month. I think it all works. It all really depends on your situation. Is there something to be said for yeah, I'm not even going to go down that road. How often is really it depends, man. It really does. It really does. Good on you for every once a week. That is a solid plan. Jim says the developer talk about what they're working on at Nostr and taking suggestions from the plebs. Yeah, that is a solid part of Nostr. Is, man, if you don't like something over there, and there's so many different options, and just growing every day. So many different ways to access it. If you don't like the user interface on one, you just grab another one, you try it. I got 3 on my phone that I can choose from, and like 4 bookmarked on my computer. But if there is one particular one, man, you shoot a message to the guy that's coding it, because he's on there too and he's interacting with you. It's not like Elon on Twitter, where he's like, I'm the king of Twitter and I'm going to post my one post a day and everybody's going to see it because I own the shit and I'm going to put it in their notifications, and they don't follow me, but they need to know what I say. That isn't Nostr. The guys building the clients that you're using to access it, the guys working on the systems that, like, I'm using zap.stream here. I sent a private message to Derek Ross the other day. Dev, working on Nostr nests and all sorts of things, very prominent in the Nostr community. I just sent him a direct message and I had a question about Nostr nests and zap.stream. And like within 3 minutes, he wrote me back and it had my questions answered. So it's a very open community. It's a community where we all participate together, and everybody is there to help one another and all learn and move forward. Jen, you need to delete this comment. I might delete it. Jen says, Jim, I apologize to you if my comment was rude or mean. I didn't intend it to be that way. I'm sorry, Jim. No. That is unacceptable here, Jen. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. And picking on Jim is okay. And Jim says, no, Jen, you're fine. It's all in good fun. Oh. Jim set up for once a week and once a month on the DCA. Pickle Pete says he doesn't like DCAing. He makes piles and buys on opportune times. And he says, like, right now he's not buying on the run up. He'll catch it on the rebound. But that said, he also takes it for coffee. So he is DCAing by default. That is something that I love. I sent Brian a screenshot yesterday of some emails that I was getting. There are certain companies that I have partnered with, that affiliate programs and things like that pay out in Bitcoin, whether it be Fold or Blockstream or some other places where you do stuff for Bitcoin. Your affiliate commissions, your rewards are in Bitcoin. That is DCAing. And my screenshot was a couple of emails that had pertained to Bitcoin, and it just said drip, 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 drip. It's just filling up a bucket. But there is something to be said for holding back a little bit of funds. DCA every week, $5 a week, but put $1. So say you want to buy $5 in Bitcoin a week. DCA $4 and put $1 in a honeypot for the dips. Put $1 in the honeypot for the pullbacks and the reset and the big swings. Buy low, sell high. I mean, buy low, don't sell. So there is that. Chris Dixon says he's still learning how to navigate Nostr. Yeah, it's interesting. You really have to just try a bunch of different clients and find which one works for you. Rewilder Life says is Nostr an app? Nostr is a protocol that can be accessed by several different apps or desktop portals, basically. Um, you're in my age bracket, Rachel. Do you remember back like email clients and servers? Your kids could give you a sweet rundown on Nostr, I'm guessing. Are they on there, by the way? By the way? Um, embrace the suck. Holy crap. Canadian Farm says I do stuff for Bitcoin. I do stuff for Bitcoin. Jim says buying the dip this week would have been tricky. No, Jim, you let that accumulate. You let it accumulate until there is a dip. Jen says, what is the difference between a protocol and an app? Okay. Use real words. Oh God. Okay, so Nostr. Let me see if I can do this without it getting really convoluted or anything. Nostr is the language. Nostr is the set of rules and the language which everything is written by, and they keep improving this. They have protocols, they have NIPs, basically how NIP, NIPs, Nostr improvement protocols. Um, basically, they've gotten together and said this is the standards by which we're going to make things so they all interact together. Now, hey, Jim, hey, Canadian Farmstead, hey, Jen, you go out and you write an app, a client like Amethyst or Damus or Primal. These are all the things that you use to gain access to the information. You guys go build an app, but you need to keep these things in mind, these rules, these boundaries, these limitations, these ways that they're going to interact. You got to keep these in mind. So when you launch it, you access the information the same way that the other person accesses the information. And there's going to be little differences. There's going to be differences in the way it works. There's going to be differences in the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it interacts with the information. And then you're going to launch that out. People can take their username. Basically, you're using this. It's basically cryptocurrency. You have a private key and a public key. For anything to happen, it has to be signed by your private key, just like sending Bitcoin, just like paying with Bitcoin. Your public key is what people see. So, man, I have to do a whole episode on Nostr because, yeah, is that starting to make sense at all? Is that starting to make sense at all? Um, Jim says young people haven't embraced Nostr as much as you think. I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a Nostr episode. I will write out the notes so I can actually follow it through in my brain because there's a lot of different pieces. We didn't even start talking about relays and all that fun stuff. I will make a map that will be on the list. I'm gonna write it down right now so I don't forget. We will do a Nostr episode. What it is, how it works, and yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea. John Palmer's wondering the cheapest way to buy Bitcoin. 5 years ago. The cheapest way, I would, man, for fiat, I would probably say Strike. Yeah, I think. confuse them with relays. Bitcoin, cheapest way to buy Bitcoin, I would say Strike. From fiat, I assume. Easiest. Pickle Pete says easiest. Who cares about $5 on a G? I mean, I think at this point, really at this point, since we're at the beginning, so close to the beginning of this, and there's so much upside, I think anything you really pay, unless it's an absorbent like 20% or something, I think if you paid 5% transaction fee right now, you're gonna go, I mean, I know it all extrapolates out in the end, but man, those guys that paid 20% on $3 Bitcoin. Jim says Coinbase makes DCAing easier. You probably hold your coins on an exchange, don't you? Strike makes DCAing really easy too. Right out of your paycheck, you can direct deposit it in it, and have it completely put right into Bitcoin. I can't remember the last time I logged into I can't remember the last time I logged into Coinbase. Jim says I may or may not have bought a Jade. John Palmer says he's bought too much through Fold. Fold is what it is. It is what it is. It's a reward app that they do what they do. They started out, they pumped up, they've readjusted. It's like anything. It's like Fountain. It's easy. It is. Fold is very easy. Fold is easy for sure. But it is, I look at Fold as a reward app debit card. It looks like they might be getting into the games arena. If anybody got their survey the other day about playing games for sats, which okay. As far, I haven't really used the whole the DCAing function, the Bitcoin purchasing function there. And I really should explore it. I have to get back into consistently using my Fold card. Jim says Fold loses my confidence when they block transfers. Is that like transferring out Bitcoin? Is that like transferring out they block that completely? Or was it only a temporary? I don't hold any Bitcoin on Fold more than the minimum to withdrawal. Unless the fees are through the roof. We did have that. Yeah, I have to do a big dive back into Fold and check out. I do my daily spins. I use it for a portion of the budget. I use it for gift cards and things like that, and it is what it is. I've made more than enough in rewards to continue my Plus membership for indefinitely, probably. So I haven't really looked at it. It is just sitting there spinning and accumulating, and like I said to Brian yesterday, drip, 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 just more sats in the bucket. More sats in the bucket. Pip says, anyone mess with Binance after closing its site to U.S. humans? Pip, I don't think anybody could possibly use Binance if it's not available to the U.S. Man, I'm so away from exchanges. The only time my eyeballs go on an exchange is if someone contacts me and wants to pay for a product with something other than Bitcoin. And really, you don't even need there's plenty of options out there for not even going to an exchange to exchange that. There are plenty of coin swapping sites. So yeah, I think my exchange days are over. What that kind of happens when you become a maximalist. So Be a maxi. Bitcoin all the way. Bitcoin all the way. John says, who has time for games? Yeah, I don't know. There's 5 minutes before you lay down and go to sleep. There's you got to do something while you're taking a dump. I got a couple of minutes. To make some sats while I'm dropping some weight. Anyway, this went a little sideways as usual, guys, but we did get to talk about some Bitcoin. I got some notes here. I will do a Nostr episode. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or later this week, but I will definitely do a Nostr episode. And I think I'm going to start moving there, focusing on there more, because I keep saying it, and I think I need to convince myself that it's the best place to be. All right, Chris Dixon, thanks for swinging in. I appreciate it. Haas says, is buying from brokers a bad thing? I'm not sure what a Bitcoin broker is, but there is no need for one. Brokers usually mean commissions, and there's I guess any app or any service that you buy Bitcoin through would be considered a broker, maybe. I don't know. We'd have to define terms. We would have to define terms. Oh, like Robinhood. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's okay. If you don't have your keys, you don't have your coins. Let's just put it that way. Don't have a pile sitting there. That's all I have to say. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up today. Scrambling is over there waiting to get, yes, it has its purpose. Pickle Pete says it has its purpose. And that's where I can't say that I haven't used it. I can't say that I didn't use it. I can't say that I won't use it. But it's not the first thing that pops into my head. Let's put it that way. Anyway, Pickle Pete is waiting to go live over there on his channel. So, man, guys, I appreciate you listening. And if you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, hit the subscribe, share the show with someone you think could have a laugh, could have a good time in the morning, like to hang out with us and get picked on like Jim. Otherwise, you can return value for value. Please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. Visit thelotsproject.com to find out more information or find all my links, partner companies, discount codes, things like that. We do have a shop over there. We have a lot of t-shirts and coffee mugs and comfrey for sale and things like that. Tomorrow, I'll talk about Redbubble and some new designs up on Redbubble. You guys might want to go check out, grab some stickers, and yeah, guys. Other than that, it's been a great Tuesday. Make it through the day. I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday, and we will circle back and catch up with you on Hump Day.